it's Stewart A. Swordlow.
And Janet Diamoria Swordlow.
And this is the Expansions News Podcast for the middle of September 2016. We don't have a lot of stories today because we're starting our September Spectacular, so we're getting ready to do that right away, right after this. And so I only have a couple of stories for you, and they are both considered paranormal. One of them, and hopefully you will see the images on the podcast, the links, is that UFO hunters have found an alien antenna on the surface. Of course, it may not be an alien antenna, it could be an Earth antenna. But the images...
On the surface where?
Of the moon.
Oh, you didn't say that?
I didn't say on the moon?
No.
I thought it.
No.
I was doing an ESP test on the audience.
To see if they could pick that one up.
I transmitted the word moon.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could just moon them. That would actually get a lot of viewers. No? Anyway.
Might repel the viewers.
Yeah. And of course the UFO spotter, whose name is Mark Sawala, says that NASA is hiding the truth about aliens. Oh, duh, did you just figure that one out? That's been going on for 50, 60 years. He also speculates that the presence of aliens on the lunar surface may be the reason that NASA hasn't sent any manned spacecraft to the Earth satellite since the Apollo mission. Well, I've spoken about that. Yes, that's one of the reasons. And the images captured by the space agency's lunar orbiter shows a small dark spike that casts a shadow. It's a huge, tall antenna. And when you zoom in on it, it shows a clear plateau, like a circle underneath the antenna. Of course, NASA says that the strange mark is nothing more than a crater within a crater. Well, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a freaking antenna sticking out of the moon. And you can see that there's a smooth, clear platform underneath it. So yes, there is something there. If it's alien or from Earth, doesn't matter. It's something that we're told is not there, but it is. The other story is in Loch Ness, in Scotland, because a council officer, which I imagine that must be like one of their town people that's in the government there, had snapped photos of two 30-foot monsters swimming across Loch Ness in broad daylight. His name is Ian Campbell, and he was riding a bicycle with his son when they both saw these two monsters swimming in the water, and they watched them for 30 seconds, and hopefully you'll see the image on the podcast as well. And it's the second time in a month that the Loch Ness monster has been spotted. And they saw these two big creatures swimming together, and in one of the pictures, which was taken, he says, 400 meters away, it appears that whatever was in the water was propelling itself using its two flippers on each side of its body, and in the image you can see that. So, actually, at the September Spectacular, I will be discussing about what is underneath Loch Ness and where it connects to. So if you're not here, sorry. Your turn.
I thought you were going to talk about the China map.
Well, I didn't have that story, but...
I know, tell them, because it's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, I'll tell you two things. China is now going to be issuing a new map of their country, map of China. And in the map of China, it includes most of the Pacific Ocean, including Hawaii and Micronesia. And even Mexico, islands off the coast of Mexico, which they say belong to China, according to ancient dynasty information.
And what's interesting, and I can't remember who told me this, but somebody told me that the first time that they saw American natives from the Southwest, he thought that he was looking at Chinese people.
Well, hold your horses there, Missy, because that's part of my September Spectacular.
I don't want to give things away then.
Because I have new information about that topic.
Okay, well, I
But
don't want to give it away.
one more thing I want to say is, because I just briefly saw that before, Dick Cheney, remember Dick Cheney, former vice president? He said the only true thing he's ever said in his life.
What?
And he said that Obama is the president that has destroyed the United States more than any other.
No, again, he's a puppet, And plus he's related to Cheney. Remember, they're all related. Mm-hmm. So, keep that in mind.
It's a Cheney of events.
Yes, it is. All right, so my turn?
Yes.
Okay, and I, believe it or not, because we've been so busy preparing for this class, I only have one story.
Yay!
So, this one happens to be about the North Dakota pipeline, which I think is very interesting because there's practically no no news of this in
It's
mainstream
blocked.
media.
It's blocked from the news.
Yeah, it's all over Facebook. If you're watching my Facebook page, I'm doing everything I can to promote awareness via Facebook, but mainstream media, it's not there. However, so if you're interested to know what it is, which you should be, it's a $3.8 billion Dakota Access Pipeline, which is set to span 1,200 miles from the Bakken oil fields in North Dakota to Patoka, Illinois, apparently.
Patoka, Illinois.
From there, it says the pipeline's original route crossed the Missouri River near Bismarck, North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
But authorities worried that an oil spill would have wrecked the state capital's drinking water, so they moved it closer to the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. Of course, and the Sioux got upset about it.
Are they going to sue?
They said that apparently they're going to cross a half a mile from the reservation across land that was taken from the tribe in 1958 without the tribe's consent.
The whole country was taken from tribes without their consent.
The Standing Rock Sioux tribe says the pipeline construction could desecrate sacred lands, including grave sites and culturally important stone features.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they say that any pipeline leak at the Missouri crossing, because remember they want to dig it under the Missouri River, which I think is ridiculous, which lies just upstream from the reservation, could contaminate crucial drinking water, and not just theirs, but basically the whole country's. Then it said that tribal leaders had argued that they were not included in discussions during the planning process for the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Well, of course not.
And it said the company called Energy Transfer Partners says, quote, the pipelines are the safest mode of transporting crude oil, unquote. That doesn't
Except
mean
when they leak.
yeah, and it doesn't say it's that it is safe. It just says the safest.
I remember the earthquake that we just had here
yes.
last week.
Yeah, you said what, about almost a 6
Actually,
point?
it's 5.8.
Well, anyway, so the Obama administration decided to suspend construction on controversial oil pipeline in North Dakota, and the tribe says that's a game changer. Because finally they're maybe listening to what the natives have to say, although I can't tell you why. Now, I don't know how many natives are actually gathering, but it's because it's not in mainstream news, but they have been bringing out the National Guard, they've been bringing out attack dogs. They show you with like women standing there, and the trooper walks up and just kicks her feet out from underneath her, throws her on the ground, yeah,
In this country?
and handcuffs her. She's just standing there. And the natives, I've heard is 3,000. My feeling is maybe by now there might be more than 3,000 natives there. 200 tribes are represented. They have all their tribal flags that are posted there. It also says that a federal judge, let's see, let me go here. The Sioux tribe, let me get my facts here, actually sued in federal court and lost that. The U.S. District Judge acknowledged that the United States' relationship with the Indian tribes has been contentious and tragic.
Putting it mildly.
But then he went on to say that the Army Corps, get this, quote, likely complied, unquote, likely complied
Yeah.
with its obligation to consult the tribe, and the tribe has not shown that it will suffer injury that would be prevented by any injunction. Then the Justice Department, the Department of Army, and the Interior Department announced that construction in an area of the Army Corps' land that is particularly significant to the tribe will not go forward pending further evaluation. So they're just picking out this one part and saying, okay, we won't go here. We'll look somewhere else. However, the case has highlighted the need for serious discussion on whether there should be nationwide reform with respect to considering tribes' views on these types of infrastructure projects. So now the federal government will, quote, invite tribes to formal government-to-government consultations this fall to improve communication, and the tribe called this invitation a game changer that sets the stage for a nationwide reform. I hope the tribes don't get their hopes up too high.
That's not going to happen.
Because as the government has proved itself that the government's out for the government. It's not
Right.
out. It doesn't matter whether you're a tribal, native person, or you're just like people like us. It doesn't really matter. The government really doesn't care about what we think. The government only cares about what it wants to do. It wants to make you think that they care about what they think. So, anyway, then Obama completely halted the North Dakota pipeline.
Yes, but I also read something about where the judge said that he went against Obama.
The judge did, but then Obama overrode it. So they're saying this is a big thing for the tribes. So, but like I said, maybe the government is just kind of repositioning itself, thinking what to
Let me
do.
tell you something. There's a lot of money in there for the people building that
Yes.
pipeline, and they're not going to let Indians stop it.
Yeah, and the thing is the I think it was the Sioux tribe that said it would be the 7th generation that would make a change in the world. So this is now the 7th generation. So the prophecy
7th generation from what?
from when all this stuff happened originally, when the white people came in and took everything over.
Mhm.
So they're saying that the prophecies are saying that this is the time for the natives to gather and come together and unify against. So I don't know what's
Wasn't
going
there
to
like
happen.
also a white buffalo born around that area?
No,
most
that's been a
recently?
long time ago, and I don't know exactly what that's at this point. But they, and so they're all coming together, and they say we're camping out, we're not leaving, and we're settling in. This is our land. You
Well,
can't
it's gonna
breach
get
it.
cold in a couple of weeks there.
Yeah, but they're used to that, So that's why I said I don't know what's going to happen. But I think definitely you need to spread on Facebook so at least the population knows what's happening, because it's not a mainstream news. It's still about Hillary and Trump, and it's still the same old garbage. That's not going to change.
Hillary called Trump supporters
What?
a basket of something that wasn't nice, and she had to apologize.
I don't know. As I remind everybody, every time Trump and Hillary are cousins, they're all related to the Queen. It's just a big show. So it will continue to be a show until it's not, until it's done, until we have the election. And then after September Spectacular, our big event here, is the January class. So if we have people signing up for that already, January 2017, that's like our biggest, most intensive class we get. So you need to contact
Well, this is
Patricia.
going to be intensive.
This is intense, but the January is like the most, because that's where we push you the hardest. This one, we're going to give you more information. It's going to be like a long seminar with personal information put in there for you specifically.
And then, like right after, I'm going back to Europe, Italy, Belgium, Holland, Germany, and I believe those are now on the website, so
Yes.
you can look up the details for that.
Yeah.
And then in October, I was
The Tucson Transformational Shift.
Transformational Shift, October 21 to 23.
Yeah.
Then I go back to Europe again. October 29th is the Exposing the Truth Conference in Warsaw. Is that on our site also yet? I think that's...
I don't know. I have to look on that.
Yes, where you can go to speedstar.pl,
PL, I think.
.com.pl, and you get the information there. And then November 2nd, I'll be back in Milan for another big...
That's going to be a big conference in Milano. And then what happens
Ah,
November 5?
Yeah. Well, I
Guy-
don't
it's
want to
Guy
talk
Fawkes
about it
Day.
anymore. I don't talk about it
November
anymore.
5 is
'Cause
Guy
I don't
Fawkes
think
Day.
anybody's doing anything for me, so I'll probably I return home November 4.
And the big
And
6th.
then I'd probably just stay in my room, depressed, November 5th. And then, actually, a couple of days after that, I will be in Australia and Singapore, November 11th to 20th.
Yeah, we
and
got a
that will be on the site soon.
Yeah, we have a fantastic seminar lined up for people in Australia, and you'll be doing consultations in Singapore.
Yeah.
So,
And that's it.
all right, so that's it. So we've got to get busy. We've got people coming in about an hour, and we just
Yeah.
wanted to check in and say hello. We're still thinking about you. Watch the website.
I'm not really thinking about them.
You're
though.
not?
No.
Okay. Well, he's not, but I am. So take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.